Do you still get that feeling? You're 29 years old, right? So, we're all grown men. But do you still get that feeling in your gut when you're about to approach that girl? Do you still feel that helplessness when she walks past you and suddenly you're struck dumb? Or how about when you see your ex talking with another guy? Do you find yourself sinking into doubt again, wondering why she left you? This struggle, brothers, this endless chasing of her is the curse of modern men. We've lost our footing, and it seems like nobody knows how to step back onto solid ground. But over 200 years ago, a German philosopher predicted it. He saw it coming, and he issued a warning. And if we listen closely enough, we might hear his words ringing clear and true today. The man who seeks to be liked, to be loved, to be chosen. The man who lives for her approval, he will never be free. This is the truth that has been forgotten by most men. The hard truth that you're not going to want to hear, but that you desperately need to embrace if you want to awaken your masculinity. This is the story of Immanuel Kant and the one message he left for men today. In the darkest of nights, there is a light that shines brighter than any other. And in these times of moral confusion, we must seek it out. Welcome to our channel, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. In the foggy mornings of 18th century Germany, a man walked through the streets of Königsberg. He walked slowly, almost aimlessly, taking in the sights and sounds of the city. His eyes were sharp, piercing through the ordinary to see the extraordinary, the deeper truths that lay hidden beneath the surface. This was Immanuel Kant, a philosopher whose thoughts have echoed through the corridors of history. He wasn't known for wild theories or outlandish ideas. No, his legacy lies in his unwavering commitment to reason, his relentless pursuit of moral clarity. He once said, "Have the courage to use your own head." And that's what set him apart, his courage to think independently, to challenge the norms of his time. As we dig deeper into Kant's philosophy, you might find yourself nodding along, agreeing with some of his views, maybe even questioning others. But that's the beauty of his work. It challenges us to think, to ponder, to form our own opinions. He doesn't give us easy answers, but he does plant seeds of thought that can grow into powerful, life-changing truths. Kant's core message for men is simple yet profound. Think for yourself. In a world that often tries to push us towards a one-size-fits-all mentality, his words are a breath of fresh air. They remind us that each of us is an individual, capable of making our own decisions, carving our own path through life. So let's unpack this idea further. When he says, "Think for yourself," Kant isn't suggesting that we ignore the experiences of others, nor is he advocating for a life of selfish individualism. What he is getting at is far more nuanced and deeply impactful. He is urging us to be independent thinkers, to base our beliefs and actions on reason and evidence, rather than blindly following the crowd or conforming to societal pressures. For a man, this translates into a life lived on his own terms. Guided by his inner compass, a life free from the shackles of social expectations and prejudices. It means developing the courage to question conventional wisdom, the strength to stand up for what's right, even when it's unpopular, and the humility to admit when he's wrong. In essence, Kant is calling for men to take ownership of their beliefs and actions, to recognize that they are the architects of their own destiny. But why is this so important? Why should a man strive to think for himself in today's world? The answer lies in the very foundation of a man's being, in his dignity. Imagine a man who walks through life with his head held high, his eyes fixed on the horizon, driven by a sense of purpose that's deeply personal and profoundly meaningful. This is a man who embodies the essence of masculinity. His actions are guided by his own moral code, shaped by his unique experiences and informed by his capacity for reason. He doesn't shrink in the face of adversity. Instead, he stands tall, ready to confront whatever challenges come his way, knowing that his internal compass is his greatest asset. This is what it means to be a man who thinks for himself, a man who values his dignity above all else. The key to this transformation lies within reach, waiting to be grasped. All it takes is a willingness to look within, to dig deep into the recesses of one's own mind and heart. This journey of self-discovery can be daunting, but the rewards are immeasurable. By embracing the call to think for himself, a man lays the groundwork for a life that's rich with meaning, purpose, and authenticity. It's a life that's anchored by his own internal compass, guiding him towards a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. The quiet cost of seeking her approval. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, it's pretty obvious that constantly seeking female approval is bad for my self-esteem. Get that? But let's go a bit deeper. Let's dissect this issue and explore the unseen costs of this approval-seeking behavior. First, consider the countless hours spent daydreaming about her, crafting the perfect message, carefully curating your online presence to catch her eye. All of this robs you of precious time and energy that could be channeled into building your own life, pursuing your passions, and nurturing genuine connections. Why waste your valuable time on fleeting online interactions when there is so much more to experience in life? Then there's the mental toll it takes. Constantly worrying about what she thinks, overanalyzing every interaction. It's exhausting. And for what? To receive validation that's often superficial and short-lived. Constant mental chatter steals your peace and replaces it with anxiety and insecurity. Moreover, seeking her approval often leads to a distorted sense of self. You begin to base your self-worth on her perception of you, which is not only unreliable, but also incredibly limiting. This need for external validation can morph into a full-blown obsession, consuming your thoughts and dominating your waking hours. Before you realize it, you've sacrificed your individuality, your uniqueness, all in the name of trying to win her approval. This is the subtle yet significant cost of living in a perpetual state of approval seeking. You've traded your time, your mental well-being, and most importantly, your sense of self, all for a hollowed-out version of validation. But there's hope. The antidote to this modern malaise lies in recognizing the gravity of this exchange and making a conscious choice to break free from its clutches. Now that you understand the cost, it's time to reclaim your life. So, brothers, let's take a moment to reflect on our choices, to assess the costs we've been unknowingly bearing, and to chart a new course. A course rooted in authenticity, self-respect, and genuine connection. Let's rewrite the narrative of modern man together. One that celebrates individuality, embraces authenticity, and rejects the need for hollowed-out approval. Join us in this movement and let's redefine what it truly means to be a man today. Final message. In today's world, it can feel like we're all shouting into the void, desperately seeking a response, a nod of approval, a sign that we matter. But what if the answer lies in the quiet strength of a single man who chooses himself? What if the true power lies not in seeking external validation, but in the quiet dignity of thinking for himself? When a man stops seeking approval, something remarkable happens. He becomes free. Free to forge his own path, free to define his own success, and free to embrace the unique challenges and rewards that come with choosing his own way. This is the essence of Kant's philosophy applied to the life of a modern man. It's a call to break free from the shackles of societal expectations and to replace them with the chains of self-imposed discipline and integrity. This journey starts with a decision, a conscious choice to turn away from the noise and distractions of the world and to focus on what truly matters. It's about silencing the voices of doubt and criticism and replacing them with the quiet hum of your own inner compass. When you make this choice, a transformation begins. You start to see the world through a different lens, one that's unclouded by the need for approval or validation. You become more attuned to your surroundings, more aware of the needs and desires of those around you. And with this newfound clarity, you're better equipped to make decisions that align with your values and goals. This is the power of a man who no longer seeks approval, a man who instead focuses on becoming his best self. He becomes a beacon of strength and stability for himself and those around him. He becomes the embodiment of Kant's philosophy, a man who respects himself and in doing so commands respect from others. This is the final message from Kant to men today. Stop seeking approval. Start living by your own principles, values, and goals. Become the best version of yourself, not for the sake of impressing others, but for the fulfillment and freedom it brings to you. Remember, brothers, the truest form of strength comes not from the number of likes you receive, but from the depth of your character, the integrity of your actions, and the authenticity of your being. It's time to reclaim your power and to live a life that's true to yourself. It's time to stop seeking approval and to start being the best version of yourselves. If you're hungry for more, we've curated a special playlist of videos that will fuel your growth. Dive deeper, explore more, and continue your journey towards greatness. Watch the videos and become the man you were meant to be.